what the bank will actually structure. And honestly, if you use about 80% of fair market value, you're going to be safe. The trick here is not to be intimidated by the bank, because they're going to try to bully you down based on the value or something else. All of this is your responsibility as the investor. With the information I just gave you for just simply A, B, C. Let's say you understand how to do equity spreads, but you're the one negotiating these files. Okay? I'm going to explain what the bank's responsibility is in this transaction, and this is going to be the toughest pill to swallow. And you've even learned this doing REOs. The bank's responsibility is to say no. I know that one sounds a little crazier. I'm going to explain why they say no. You need to make me or the person at the bank care. You need to make them care on REOs. You need to sweeten the deal. On short sales, you need to make them care. You need to sweeten the deal. At the end of the day, the bank's going to say no almost all the way up until the close of the file. I don't want to take the file unless. I don't want to do it unless. I don't believe this is the value. I need this. You need to understand that. You need to keep going with it. They're going to keep saying no until the day they approve the deal. Your job is to make them care. You need to fundamentally understand that you're making more money short sale versus foreclosure if you're doing a short sale. Even when doing an REO, what's the maximized return on the REO for the bank? That's why they nickel and dime you and squeeze you like a zit. Or go ask a listing agent what it's like to list REOs for a bank. It's a fantastic time. You've got 4 separate egos involved in this transaction. Seller, selling agent, buyer, buyer's agent. Okay? Forget about you. I'm going to assume that you check your ego at the door and you're just out to make your money. Then you got to deal with a bank that's completely screwy and insane to begin with. You've got to get all 5 of these people lined up in the right direction before you see $1 on this transaction. Why don't short sales close? Because you got 5 egos involved in this transaction who are scared, too greedy or not greedy enough, who are afraid of the power of the bank. These people are all predicated by different egos and different. Don't think the bank's going to change. Okay, they now influence the Department of Real Estate. They influence the National Association of Realtors. They influence everybody everywhere based on flow and structure. Okay, they lobby, they position, they push. They're involved with lawyers, so they make the laws. So you have to be quicker and smarter than everybody else to make money. Or are you making a lot of money doing REOs? I mean, I always ask the same thing when I talk to somebody about REOs, which is, how's that working for you? Well, I made 25% on it. I made my favorite, and this is a true story. Oh, I did an REO and I made 35% return on my money. That's fantastic. How long ago was that? Oh, it was a couple of years ago. That's like telling a Vegas gambling story. My office is here in Las Vegas, and that's where I am today. I love gambling stories. You know what? Once back at the old Sands, big tower in the center that's no longer on the street. I think it's the Wynn now, right? It's the Wynn now. I once played craps from 1 a.m. until I think it was 4 in the morning on one single roll. It wasn't my roll, it was somebody else's roll. I was a part of that table, that magic at the Sands. It's actually ranked as one of the top 10 longest rolls of all time in Vegas, and I was a part of that table. Made tens of thousands of dollars, and I was only like a little guy. I was much younger then, I'm going to say. I don't go out gambling thinking that's going to happen every time. That would be stupid. It's the truth. I mean, I bet $20 on a football game last night and I lost. That's what happens. I don't hit home runs when I gamble. You don't hit home runs on every investor. What you want in investing is consistency. Can I make 15 to 20% consistently on a limited risk to maximize my return? Instead of trying to hit the home run. You know, if I had my choice of setting up a baseball team between somebody who hits a bunch of singles and doubles and somebody who hits home runs, I'm going to take the person who hits singles and doubles all day long. I'd rather have a whole team of them. Because truthfully, people who hit home runs strike out more than the number of times they hit home runs. I'll take somebody with a 400 or 500 batting average who's hitting singles and doubles instead of somebody who's hitting 250 or 300, you know, at the plate, trying to hit home runs, because they strike out a lot. The idea here is, how do I turn this all into a positive cash flowing engine? And that's the big deal. And this is what a cash flowing engine looks like. I'm showing it to you. It's probably the first time. I know that I've darked out just a little bit, but I want to cover this. And I want to go through this. This is the engine that I built over the last several months, working with different investors and different people. First of all, you need good marketing. That's step 1, marketing. Okay? You need to understand all the different types that will work. Direct, face-to-face, SEO, referrals, door knocking, cold call, media, whatever it takes to make a positive influence in your marketing direction. Simple. Once that happens, you go to step 2, which is the file in. How to change the mindset of my client thinking they're going to keep their home setting up the initial short sale file, and how to make the buyer and seller sit and stay while I do the transaction. In this case, how do I make the C buyer sit? How do I make the seller sit? I mean, you're doing an equity spread, so this is paramount educationally when doing equity spreads. The third, who's processing your file? The processor. Do they know how to prepare a file? Do they know how to create an unload and create the story? Do they know how to prepare it and submit it? Because next comes the process. Do they know how to submit it correctly? Do they know how to confirm it? Do they know how to process it? And ultimately, how do they escalate it? Because the bank's going to say no 3 or 4 or 5 times, especially when you start going 18 to 20% below fair market value. They're going to say no a lot. Okay, so you better know how to escalate. And since I invented the word, along with my friend Trent Chapman and Short Sale Genius, I know for a fact they're going to escalate your file. You're going to have to learn how to escalate your files, especially on that kind of deal. Because once it closes, how do I create the letter, get the file closed, and turn it into a referral so it starts all over again? This engine is the basis for everything I've been teaching for the last few months. I've been doing private consulting and private teaching for many individuals. And this is the perfected thing. I've now worked with investors, I've worked with offices, I've built mitigation companies, I've maximized returns for investors, I've increased their turnover time of files. In fact, that's one of the reasons why I created Fast Short Sale, so that I had a place to actually mitigate short sale files. My office now mitigates files for investors as well as standard real estate agents. We do it based on flat fee of $9.97. So if you're interested, even as an investor, maybe we can discuss that with you. We're certainly willing to look at it. The truth is, you're going to submit crap files if you're going to do it your way. And that's where my problem starts to stand. The reason is simply this. If you're an investor and you want me to mitigate your file, by all means, go ahead, give us a call. I'll give you all the information in a few minutes. It's probably at the bottom of the screen right now or something else, but it's 702-478-5836. Ask for Diane. Now, she's going to open up your initial file because you're going to do this all yourself and you just want to use this for a flat fee. And you're going to submit a file that's 25 to 50% below fair market value. When she tells you hell no, and she will, I know Diana pretty well when she takes in a file, she's going to say hell no. You know why? She knows the bank won't take the deal. And she's not going to waste her time. And I'm not going to waste my time. Instead of submitting the number that's the lowest point that the bank will take short sale versus foreclosure. I'm happy to work with you, but I need to do it a different way. So here's how it works if you're an investor. I'm going to help you, okay? I'm going to help you get your deals. I've been coaching, doing marketing, and so forth because I fundamentally understand the client right now. So I'm going to help you, of course, step one of that engine. I'm going to help you get deals and set up your marketing. Then I'm going to help you script the file out so that your clients are educated, so that you sit and stay, and ultimately don't try to sue you because you did something wrong. I mean, that should really go through your mind. There's a lot of people attempting to sue people. There's not a lot of case law. But this is a sue-happy kind of situation, and I just hate it. Okay? You need to learn how to set up the deals from the beginning, how to script them, how to set them up. Step 2 is monumentally important. I'm going to show you how to create the ABC relationship, the appropriate disclosures you need, how to set it up, the right attorneys to use, trusts, how to turn it to the C at the end. How does that whole thing set up for you? Okay? Then we're going to mitigate your file here in the office, where it'll be under my control, and we will set up. We will show you how to set up the turn from B to C. Then we're going to show you how to set up the back end so that it turns into a referral base. Then I'm going to teach you every single step of what I just did. Why? I don't want to coach you forever. I find it frustrating. I got to be honest. I'm the former head loss mitigator for IndyMac Bank's HELOC division. And as much time as I spend with my daughter at Disneyland, I'm still working on my patients day to day. So I'm only going to work with you for a short period of time and do a few deals with you and just teach you how to do this. Then you can use our services, and I don't have to worry about you anymore. This is basically the starter setup, and it's simple. And I'm going to do this one-on-one. That's the patience part. It's the hard part. I have to, got to do it my way, okay? I need you to understand that. My goal is to really help you. It is going to be one-on-one. It is direct coaching by me. It is my numbers. It is the calculator. We're going to show you how to set it all up from the beginning. So let's discuss this. If I have $100,000 property, okay, and the equity spread is about $20,000 minus cost